So, first of all, I would like to introduce Martin Alvarado, known around the world as the voice of Buenos Aires, the voice of tango in the 21st century, an ambassador for the unique culture of Argentina around the world, known widely around the world, particularly in Europe, having toured. Did you say it's 47 tours now, Martin?
47, yes.
Wow. And
I should be right now on my 49 tour.
wow.
Two tours were cancelled because of this COVID-19.
Yeah. We'll come back to that. I know you've had a difficult time during COVID, as have we all. But Martin, you've been to the UK several times, haven't you?
I think I've given about 120 concerts in UK.
Wow. Well, I know you've been to Liverpool 3 times. Thank you very much.
Yes, I remember very well. Very nice concerts there.
Even in the snow. Yeah.
It's very pretty. And also, the first time, I think it was a very sunny day. I remember we were walking around and it was sunny. I have some photographs, but the others were a bit cloudy. But very beautiful memories.
In 2013, you won the Latin UK Music Award for the International Artist of the Year. Wow, that's fantastic.
It was because of a concert we had given in London, in a house. I can't remember the name of the park where this house is located. And with Mikko Helenius, my Finnish brother, he's a fantastic bandoneon player and piano player. We had given a concert there, and I remember Lauderdale House. And we won the Latin UK Award because of that. And then we also performed live at the ceremony where we were given the prize. It was interesting, very nice.
Mm-hmm. Yes, a lot of competition, I would imagine.
Well, there were some big names there. It's okay. Mm-hmm. I'm not. I don't believe in awards so much.
No.
Mostly, but I believe in the quality of the art, and that's what I'm proud of. But of course, the awards help. They boost your career. They promote you, help promotion very much. So that's why I'm happy. But I believe in the quality I've been delivering along the years, and that concert was really nice. And Mikko is one of a kind. There are not so many people in the world like him. So I'm happy that some people thought that it was the best concert by international artists.
But Martin, you weren't always a tango singer, were you? You started out as a rock singer.
To be honest, I don't consider myself just a tango singer. When somebody calls me, this is natural. When somebody calls me a tanguero, I feel like, kind of uncomfortable because I consider myself an artist. That, of course, tango is the main music I perform, but I also sing some folk music. I write my own songs. I perform with jazz influence as well, pop music, rock music. So I think I play all the music that I consider that I can do properly, and that makes me feel good. So I haven't abandoned rock at all.
Really?
I'm still singing rock music. I'm still writing rock songs, and someday I will publish them, or perhaps not. I don't know. But when I'm home, and sometimes I also give public concerts with rock music, I enjoy playing everything I like, all the music I love.
Because it's a very different style, isn't it? Very different use of the voice.
Absolutely different, absolutely. But anyway, that those influences made me the singer I am, because there is one thing for sure about Martin Alvarado, that I don't sound like anybody else. And that's something I'm very proud of, because I had to work very hard on that. And I tend, on purpose, I tend not to copy anybody. So that's why I think I achieved to have a personality, a very personal sound, which is something I'm very proud of.
Yes, I agree. So which singers have influenced you at all in tango?
Oh, in tango, there was one that made my life to have a turning point. He was Rubén Juárez. He was a brilliant singer, and he also played bandoneon very well. He played and sang at the same time. I got to meet him personally. He was like my musical godfather. Well, I learned a lot from him. He was the one that somehow made me wish to sing tango. And then there are some other influences, not only from tango music. I've been a fan. I became a singer because I'm a big fan of a British rock singer from Cannock called Glenn Hughes. He used to be in Deep Purple.
Yeah.
He was bass player and singer, and nowadays he's about 70 years old and he's singing better than ever. And then some other rock bands, Stevie Wonder as well. After Glenn Hughes, because Glenn Hughes is a big fan of Stevie Wonder, I got into Stevie Wonder music. And then Astor Piazzolla, even though he's not a singer, his music and his approach to art and to tango was a big influence for me. Maria Grania, for me, the best female tango singer ever. She's still alive and kicking and very well. Terence Trent D'Arby as well. I don't know, Maxwell. Many. I listen to a lot of music and quite wide variety of styles. So that made me, form my sound and my music.
You mentioned Piazzolla. I heard you sing a beautiful song by Piazzolla, Silenzioso?
Silenzioso, yes.
And we have a video clip of that, I think, of you singing it.
Triste me parece un río desbordado y silencioso que arrastra sin alardes un penoso cargamento de vida cuando crece. La fuerza que así tiene lo adormece y lo pone más pesado y cauteloso. Pero entiéndase bien que es caudaloso y que ofrece resistencia, sí se ofrece, no cobrando el trabajo del ajeno, me hace acordar, ay sí, del hombre sano. Ay, este pueblo triste, noble y bueno, que se deja llevar por una mano, crece tan silencioso, tan con freno, que debe hacer temblar a los tiranos.
It's a very, very beautiful song, and I don't think I've heard you sing it before.
No. I will tell you a story about that. That song, it's here. It's in my latest album so far, Barquitos de Papel.
Yeah?
I'll tell you the story. Barquitos de Papel, Little Paper-Made Ships. It's an album I recorded a couple of years ago, but released recently at the end of 2019. I made it with Juan Miguel Exposito, who is a very good pianist and arranger. And Juan Miguel Exposito happens to be the nephew of the legendary Homero Exposito and Virgilio Exposito. Homero Exposito is one of the top 3 tango poets ever to be the number 1, and Virgilio, a great melodist. He composed very many great tango songs. I met Juan Miguel as a fan. He used to come to my concerts when I was playing with Horacio Avilano guitar trio, and he approached me with a couple of never before released and recorded songs. And one of those songs was Silencioso, Silent, by Astor Piazzolla and Homero Exposito. And it's very curious because, you know, Piazzolla is very famous nowadays all over the world, and most of his compositions have many recordings. Okay, this was a jewel. I mean, nobody has ever recorded it before. There is no register of anyone performing it ever. And it's a very complex milonga, slow milonga song with a curious political and social theme in the lyrics, which is not usually in tango, not that usual, and not usual at all in Homero Exposito and Piazzolla. And it's very complex with 4 modulations and really hard to sing, and a beautiful piece of music that I'm very proud to have been the first one to ever record it in this album that I'm very proud of. I'm really in love with this album and with my friend Juan Miguel Exposito, who is a very creative guy. And this is something I want to say. Tango nowadays is not famous because of its creativity. Everything tends to be like a tribute to the past and like a melancholic thing from something that happened long ago. And to me, it has never been like that. To me, tango is like jazz music, something that can be born every day. And you can be very cool playing tango and very artistic. And well, I haven't done so bad at all. Thinking and living like this. And I think this album, this recording of Silencioso with Juan, or when I'm, as you are going to see it in the video, by myself with a guitar, is something I'm really happy with. I'm really in love with this song.
It is very beautiful.
Mm.
And also on the same television show, you sang one of your own songs, Apareciste tú.
Yes, then you appear.
Como un rayo de sol en pleno anochecer, apareciste tú. En mis horas más oscuras, con tu sueño feliz, apareciste tú, milagro del amor. Cobrizo encanto de tu piel, en mi piel, en mi ser. Juro que nunca te dejaré, te amaré, te amaré. Como un rayo de sol en pleno anochecer, apareciste tú. Como si sufrieras mi dolor, soledad triste y gris, apareciste tú para ponerle fin. celestial, tu belleza en mi ser. Juro que siempre te cuidaré, te amaré, te amaré. Como un rayo de sol en pleno anochecer, apareciste tú. Como un rayo de sol en pleno anochecer, apareciste tú.
It's a love song.
This to me sounds as it has a kind of jazzy feel about it. Is this a new direction for you, or the other album?
I have to tell you the story. This is very curious. This is my album number 7, released in October 2019, recorded in 2 sessions in Helsinki in 2019 and also at the end of 2018. And Apareciste Tu is a song I wrote with a legendary jazz musician from Finland who has a career around Europe and in Asia. He has played and made lots of things in Japan, China, Russia. Eero Koivistoinen is a very young boy, 73 years old. And in his albums, for instance, he has had John Scofield playing for him, and Randy Brecker, Jack DeJohnette, Ron McClure, all-time stars of jazz music. And whenever they go to Finland, they play with him. It's amazing. I mean, John Scofield is the idol, everybody's idol of guitar, jazz guitar. And he approached me in a concert I was giving in Fuengirola in Malaga, Spain. I didn't know who he was. I only heard his name, but I didn't know how he looked like. And he came up with a melody and 4 CDs of him, and told me, I would like to work with you. I would like you to write lyrics for this melody, maybe if you want. And of course, I did it. First I made La Perra Vida, and then this Apareciste Tu is one of these. The album has 11 songs. 8 songs are written by myself, some with Eero and some with Alexi Tuomarila, the pianist. He's a brilliant pianist, jazz pianist. And it's a love song that is meant to be written to his wife, Titi. It's a love song, and we are really happy with it. And even though in this version you're going to see neither Eero nor Alexi are playing, I think the song sounds really natural and soulful, which is the task of any songwriter.
Yeah, well, you've answered my next question, really. When you're writing a song with someone, what comes first, the words or the music, or do you work together?
In this album, all the melodies were given to me.
Mm-hmm.
Some already had the title, which put some pressure for me to write. But 7 of these songs, I got the melody, and one of the songs is Te Amaré. You have heard it in Liverpool. It's my own music and words. But the others, Alexi Tuomarila and Eero Koivistoinen gave me the music. In some cases, they were extremely difficult. So I really had to work very hard. But I'm super proud to have this album out and to have this project. I mean, it's really pleasant to play with these guys. They are much better musicians than me. So I get to learn every time, and they're really beautiful people, very generous. So I'm super happy with this project, not only with the song or the album.
Mm-hmm. Well, this brings me to ask you about Finland and why Finland is so important, because I think this is where your career as a tango singer developed. Yes, is that right?
Absolutely, yes.
And when
Well,
and how?
I arrived in Finland by chance, like a destiny thing. I was playing the streets in Barcelona, and I was basking in the streets of Barcelona after having played in Buenos Aires television, in the national television, for half a year, having a good salary and being very comfortable, comfortable perhaps. And then the big crisis of 2001 exploded, and it took me some time to get my passport, my first passport, and my friends who had already left the country, my bandmates, my rock bandmates, convinced me that I should leave the country and go to play in the streets with them or without them, but to make very good money. Still nowadays is very good money what I used to make in the streets. And well, it was not easy. It was a very long time of depression and fears and sadness, and it was really hard time. But I went to Barcelona. I played. I passed in the streets. It was really difficult because it was a mixture of art and delinquents, because it was not allowed to play in the streets. So we had to look around if the police was not coming to catch your guitar and amplifier. But it was very good learning for me. I really thank life for that experience. And in those moments, I met some Finnish people who got me some gigs in Tampere. So after a lot of life in the middle, I bought a flight to Helsinki, and then I went to Tampere and began playing in a Spanish restaurant in this second city in Finland after Helsinki, Tampere. And to that restaurant, it was usual that the members of Tampere Philharmonic Orchestra come to have dinner after the concerts. And I was singing, and they invited me to the private room, asked me to sing a song for them. And the next step was an invitation by Tampere Philharmonia to sing one song in a huge concert, a massive concert in open air in Ratina Park. And from then on, and with a lot of things in the middle, my Finnish career started. Finland has its own tango culture, songs of their own, besides the translations of Argentinian tangos. And the main thing, the level of musicianship in Finland is the highest I have ever witnessed. It's amazing. I mean, the top musicians are unreachable, but the pupils are super high level. So it's really pleasant for me, who Martin Alvarado is a perfectionist. So I feel very, very comfortable working with musicians who are much more educated than me, much better educated. And so it's always a challenge, and there is always a learning for me that keeps me, going on and excited about making more music and making new music.
Excellent. And you've spent a lot of the quarantine period in Finland, haven't you? Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
It was great. I mean, it was great. I have to say, this was a fantastic year for me at the beginning, because it was the first time I traveled with my son, Joaquin, who is 14 years old, and it was a dream that I always felt so far away, because, living the way I live, I mean, being an artist, a freelancer, and always being the boss, always the concerts are my concerts, doesn't allow me to have a salary. So I have to really work hard to make a living, a beautiful living I'm making. I mean, but you have to be prepared for that. So to come with my son was something that felt kind of utopic. But I made it, and we had a great tour. We were in Finland, in lots of cities, presenting my 7th album. with Nuevo Quinteto otra vez, and then Russia and Spain. We were giving 3 concerts in England. And suddenly the concerts in Italy were canceled and the last concerts in Finland were canceled. Joaquin could go back to Argentina. My son could fly back to Argentina in March, but I got stuck in Finland. I was very fortunate that a couple of friends of mine, artists, Petri Haapasalo and opera singer Esi Luttinen, hosted me in their beautiful house in a little Swedish-speaking town near Turku called Parainen. So I was in a big house with 2 musicians I really love and making music, and in the middle of a forest with the sea 500 meters away on a hill where you have a very beautiful view to Parainen. I mean, it was really good. It was really good considering the situation. Of course, it would have been better to be home, but there was not a chance because there were no flights. So I had to wait 2 months to get the chance to purchase a ticket and fly back home. But I'm really grateful to my personal situation with this lockdown.
And you did a few concerts in Finland, which we may have video clips of too. Which are the one we have, I think, is Historia de un Amor,
Yes.
which you did with your friends. That
Yes, it's true.
was a really lovely concert.
Thank you. Yeah.
But one thing, you've done a couple of recordings, well, not recordings, performances with artists in Buenos Aires, with you in Finland. You did one with Pablo Valle and
Pablo Valle, yes, the pianist.
And Hernan Mastromarini?
Yes,
on guitar.
Hernan Mastromarini. Yeah.
Beautiful. And this is, we're all getting used to being in contact like this, speaking to people in other countries and working with them. That's an amazing thing that's come out of the lockdown, I think.
Well, I have to tell you, Linda, with Hernan Mastromarini, has been playing with me for a decade because he's a member of Horacio Avilano guitar band. But he surprised me because he was always in the background playing very silent. We never spoke very much along these 10 years. And suddenly he tells me, would you like to do this? And he sent me the arrangement. I was astonished because the level of creativity and musicianship was like, where the hell were you? And now we are preparing a new album together.
Oh, wonderful!
Yeah. So absolutely unexpected because he is not known for playing as a soloist. He has always been a member of Horacio Avilano's band, and his arrangements are beautiful, and his playing is flawless. And we are already working in some songs I have never recorded before. Of course, besides Volver, which is the video we made. Acción.
Yo adivino el parpadeo de las luces que a lo lejos van marcando mi retorno. Son las mismas que alumbraron con sus pálidos reflejos hondas horas de dolor. Y aunque no quise el regreso, siempre se vuelve al primer amor. La quieta calle donde le codijo, tuya es su vida, tuyo es su querer, bajo el burlón mirar de las estrellas que con indiferencia hoy me ven volver. volver. Con la frente marchita, las nieves del tiempo platearon mi sien. Sentir que es un soplo la vida, que 20 años no es nada, que febril la mirada errante en la sombra te busca y te nombra. Vivir con el alma aferrada a un dulce recuerdo que lloro otra vez. Tengo miedo del encuentro con el pasado que vuelve a enfrentarse con mi vida. Tengo miedo de las noches que pobladas de recuerdos encadenan mi soñar. Pero el viajero que huye, tarde o temprano detiene su andar. Y aunque el olvido que todo destruye haya matado mi vieja ilusión, guardo escondida una esperanza humilde que es toda la fortuna de mi corazón. Volver con la frente marchita, las nieves del tiempo platearon mi sien. Sentir que es un soplo la vida, que 20 años no es nada, que febril la mirada errante en la sombra te busca y te nombra. Vivir con el alma aferrada a un dulce recuerdo que lloro otra vez. Parainen, Finlandia. Chao.
But now we chose some other songs that are sounding fantastic, and there's going to be an album. And with Pablo Valle, we only did that. We had worked together a few times in some milongas in Buenos Aires, like La Viruta, a couple of times. He's a very good musician, a very nice guy, and I like his idea very much. I was, at the time in Parainen, there was snow. So I remember with my phone recording and getting my feet soaked with melt snow. But it was beautiful, and in that place that is so close to my heart, this beach in Parainen, so many things happened there when I was there alone.
With the dog.
With the dog, but of course,
and the water.
Before.
Fui como una lluvia de cenizas y fatigas en las horas resignadas de tu vida. Gota de vinagre derramada, fatalmente derramada sobre todas tus heridas. Fuiste por mi culpa golondrina entre la nieve, rosa marchitada por la nube que no llueve. Fuimos la esperanza que no llega, que no alcanza, que no puede vislumbrar la tarde mansa. Fuimos el viajero que no implora que no reza, que no llora, que se echó a morir. Vete, no comprendes que te estás matando, no comprendes que te estoy llamando. Vete, no me beses que te estoy llorando. Y quisiera no llorarte más. ¿No ves? Es mejor que mi dolor quede tirado con tu amor, librado de mi amor final. Vete, no comprendes que te estoy salvando, no comprendes que te estoy amando. No me sigas, ni me llames, ni me beses, ni me llores, ni me quieras más. Quédate en casa, te lo pido por favor. Desde Parain en Finlandia, para todos ustedes. Chao.
Yes, before this lockdown, I had been staying many times in Parainen because I have an album made there with Petri Haapasalo, that pianist Petri Haapasalo, which is a very dear friend of mine, and we have a beautiful album to be released someday, I hope. We have very beautiful music there, and
he is a wonderful.
I have stayed.
Sorry,
he's a great musician. He's a great musician who spent all his life playing music for others, being in the background of big stars of Finland. And now he discovered, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to make art. I don't want to just accompany singers. So with me, he can play whatever he wants because I will always follow. And we have a very beautiful project. We've been playing together for more than 5 years, and also his wife, who is a very famous and very good singer, opera singer.
Wonderful singer.
Yes, yes. So I've been in Parainen many times because for the recordings, there is a studio in the cellar of that house. So I stayed many times in Parainen, and that beach is my favorite place. And you know, with only 12 degrees, it's already warm enough if the sun is shining for me to swim.
Is it ever too cold for you to swim, Martin, anywhere?
Well, it's cold, but you know, I just go in and out, and you know, you get an energy boost.
We haven't actually heard you sing live for us yet, so is there anything you would like to sing for us, particularly? I've got a couple of songs here, Vete de mi.
Okay.
Or Alfonsino, Leonard.
Which one?
You choose.
Now?
If you like, yeah.
Tú, que llenas todo de alegría y juventud, y ves fantasmas en la luna de trasluz, y oyes el canto perfumado del azul. Vete de mí, no te detengas a mirar las ramas viejas del rosal que se marchitan sin dar flor. Mira el paisaje del amor que es la razón para soñar y amar yo, que ella ha luchado contra toda la maldad. Tengo las manos tan deshechas de apretar que ni te puedo sujetar. Vete de mí. Serán tus vida lo mejor de la neblina del ayer cuando me llegues a olvidar. Cómo es mejor el verso aquel que no podemos recordar.
Beautiful.
You know, this song is a very famous bolero song. It's not a tango. Even though it was written by Homero Expósito and Virgilio Expósito, these famous tango composers. It was very famous in Cuba. It was a hit. And then, of course, it has hundreds of versions. And also, I'm very happy to have made it in my newest album, Barquitos de Papel. I like the version.
Beautiful. Thank you for that, Martin.
Which other you want me to play? I'm very happy to play for you.
I don't know. Alfonsino y el mar.
Por la blanda arena que lame el mar, su pequeña huella no vuelve más. Un sendero solo de pena y silencio llegó hasta el agua profunda. Un sendero solo de penas mudas llegó hasta la espuma. Sabe Dios qué angustia te acompañó, qué dolores viejos cayó tu voz para recostarte arrullada en el canto de las caracolas marinas. La canción que canta en el fondo oscuro del mar, la caracola. Te vas, Alfonsina, con tu soledad. ¿Qué poemas nuevos fuiste a buscar? Una voz antigua de viento y de sal te requiebra el alma y la está llevando y te vas hacia allá como en sueños, dormida Alfonsina, vestida de mar. 5 sirenitas te llevarán por caminos de algas y de coral, y fosforescentes caballos marinos harán una ronda a tu lado, y los habitantes del agua van a jugar pronto a tu lado. Bájame la lámpara un poco más, déjame que duerma nodriza en paz. Y si llama a él, no le digas que estoy, dile que Alfonsina no vuelve. Y si llama a él, no le digas nunca que estoy, di que me he ido. Te vas, Alfonsina, con tu soledad. ¿Qué poemas nuevos fuiste a buscar? Una voz antigua de viento y de sal te requiebra el alma y la está llevando y te vas hacia allá como en sueños, dormida Alfonsina, vestida de mar.
Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, we've been talking about Finland, but you've also done a lot of concerts in Russia. Is
Yes.
that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a very big tango community, I believe, in Russia.
Mm-hmm.
In fact,
yeah, but I have to say one thing. I don't really play for the tango community in Russia because I don't usually play. Almost never I play milongas in Russia. I play in philharmonic halls
yes.
most of the times. So to those places, people who want to dance don't really come, which is a shame. Because I want to play for everybody, but as they cannot dance, people don't go, which is something that happens with milongueros all over the world, with some exceptions. But I'm very fortunate, I'm very proud to make art in philharmonic halls and in big halls, beautiful theaters. And that's all about my crazy, fantastic producer, Victoria Zubovskaya, who really gives her life for that. It's really difficult. And well, we are hoping that I will go again, perhaps next year, because the concert in Krasnoyarsk in Siberia were postponed. I was going to go in October, but I think nothing's going to happen until next year, which is a shame. But I have to say that I don't really count on the tango community as audience. That happens in many places in the world. Also in Argentina, it's absolutely like, I mean, dancers don't really go to concerts.
No.
No.
I was actually talking to someone who's involved in tango in St. Petersburg last week, and he said they are actually having illegal milongas and in Moscow, because of the lockdown. They're not supposed to be going, but they are.
I know.
Lockdown's affecting everything, really, isn't it?
Well, I haven't had any incomes in 4 months, which is a tragedy. And I don't know when the next is coming.
No, I was going to ask you about how much rehearsal time you get when you're doing a big concert with the philharmonic, in the philharmonic hall or with big orchestras.
Only one rehearsal and the sound check.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. Sometimes I have more, but usually these big concerts that I do every year in the Kremlin Palace Concert Hall and in the Oktябрьский Theater, we only rehearse at the sound check once or twice every song. Because I usually arrive on the same day.
So even if you're with
my schedule is a bit tight, yeah, so I don't really have time to. And also, I mean, I play much more difficult music with the Nuevo Quinteto Otra Vez, and we're rehearsing sound checks. And I really swear, music is super complex with those guys. And the same thing happens with the Eero Koivisto and Alexi Tomarilla. We usually have one or two rehearsals before touring, but it's all about improvising, so it's a bit easier, if it can be called easy, with these guys.
So with all this touring, how do you look after your voice?
I'm studying every day, and my voice is getting better all the time. Nowadays, with the lockdown, I've been studying regularly every morning for 2 or 3 hours. I'm a vocal coach, so I know quite well technique. So I'm very strict nowadays, as never before. studying every day for 2, 3, 4 hours. Sometimes I'm spending all day singing, writing, playing guitar. So if there is one thing that I have to thank COVID-19, first is that I'm spending more time than ever with my son, which I love, I really need it. And then that I'm really having time to study, and I'm writing a lot of songs. One of my dreams is to make my own album with my songs, playing guitar and singing, which is something I have been postponing along the years. So I think it's one of the next steps to take. And well, there is not so much more than I can do. So I think I'm using the time very well.
And you mentioned your son, Joaquin. Is he interested in singing?
Not at all.
But I know about the football, Banfield.
Yeah, he's very interested in that, but he wants to be an engineer and build houses, and he's happy with it, and I'm happy with him.
And talking of Banfield, you wrote a song for Banfield, did you not?
3. I wrote 3 songs.
Would you like to sing one for us?
Of course, of course. You know, Banfield was founded by an Irish engineer. That's why the club is called Banfield. It's an Irish surname, and the colors of Banfield have to do with the flag of Ireland.
Oh yeah.
Green, white, and orange. So it has to do with UK.
Just before you sing, Martin, for anyone who's watching who doesn't know about Banfield, what is Banfield?
Banfield is a very humble team.
It's a football team, yeah?
It's a football team, a very humble one. It's not one of the most popular, but it's the one I chose to be supporter of. And it's part of my life, and I don't know, it's a good alibi to go to the stadium and enjoy with my son or with my father sometimes, or with my niece, to meet friends, and to hear my song through the loudspeakers. And, you know, it's a beautiful part of my life. I don't go crazy about football anymore, which is something healthy, because people really take it too seriously here. I mean, like getting depressed if the team loses. It's crazy. Come on. But I enjoy the game and everything around it, and if there is a chance to have any healthy thing in the fanatism, I like the positive fanatism. And of course, it inspired me to write a couple of songs, and to see some very good football players, to enjoy some championships obtained. And you know, it's not like Manchester United or Liverpool or these big teams, but it's a nice part of my life. And I wrote 3 songs that I can remember. One for a football idol that sadly passed away some years ago, but he was champion with us, Garrafa Sanchez. And also a song that I would like to play. I can play a little bit of each one. This is the song I wrote for this excellent football player who was José Luis Garrafa Sanchez. There is a movie about him as well, which I participated in a very brief fragment. This is the song. Regalando alegrías, ahí va el Garrafa, magia en cada gambeta con gusto a gol, a ponerse de pie que empezó la fiesta. Cada vez que acaricia el balón, hace latir más fuerte a cada corazón. Pibe de barrio pobre, más rico en sueños, el que comía salteado allá en la Ferrer, gambeteando rivales más no a la gloria, y hoy escribe la historia con esa zurda, romance eterno, balón y red. Generoso regalo, tanta alegría, de esas que dejan huella en el corazón. pintándole la cara a cada tristeza, burlando al destino con cada gol. Cuando el Garrafa la toca, se rompen gargantas en la popular. La gente se vuelve loca y hasta la pelota se ve distar. Cuando el Garrafa la toca, se rompen gargantas en la popular. La gente se vuelve loca y hasta la pelota se ve distar. That is tema de Garrafa, song for Garrafa. And this is Soy de Banfield. I am a fan of Banfield. Cantan locos corazones tribuneros. Domingo, fútbol y fiesta. Juega Banfield y hasta Dios dejó su siesta pa' pintar el cielo sur de verde y blanco. Un amor que nada entiende de razones se lleva dentro del alma. Carnaval interminable en las gargantas que acompañan al taladro a cada cancha. Rueda la pelota, nace una ilusión en cada banfileño corazón. Fiesta verde y blanca, grito atronador, cada vez que Banfield marca un gol. Soy de Banfield de los pies a la cabeza, y al taladro lo llevo en el corazón. Soy de Banfield y más nada me interesa, ganes, empates o pierdas, yo te llevo a donde voy. Soy de Banfield y te sigo a todos lados. Dale Banfield, regálame un sueño más, porque te llevo en el alma, yo te canto, yo soy hincha del taladro, cada vez te quiero más. Cada vez te quiero más, cada vez te quiero más.
Thank you.
Banfield!
Cheers.
Cheers, Linda. I have one thing to say about what I said before about the milongueros not usually be in my audience, but in England, due to the fantastic work, also she puts her life in everything she does. Lisa Cherry Downs, our very good friend, the reason why we are friends now, she introduced each other. She really worked hard to take me to theaters and also to milongas, of course, but to bring art to milongas, because milongas are usually welcoming lately cover bands or imitation projects. But Lisa has really worked hard to bring art to the milongas. It's something really noble that I appreciate very much. And of course, without Lisa Troy Downs, I wouldn't have toured England so many times and wouldn't have given so many concerts and wouldn't have met you or met Liverpool, which is something I'm really grateful for.
Yes, she's done a lot. Yeah.
She does.
I didn't realise you had been involved in Midnight Tango.
Where?
Midnight Tango.
Yes, of course, yes. That's how I met Lisa Cherry Downs.
Because I saw that a few times, but I didn't know you then. I had a friend. I have a friend who was one of the dancers.
Yes, I don't remember all the dancers because I only took part in 13 shows in Birmingham and Nottingham. And that's how I met Lisa Cherry Downs, who is my producer in UK.
Oh, so I didn't see you in it then. I saw Guillermo.
Guillermo, I replaced Guillermo. He offered me to the slot when he had to go to do some other things. And it was a very nice experience. Very nice people. Vincent and Flavia are beautiful people and very professional and very kind. And all the dancers. It was really fun. Not my cup of tea, I have to say. I'm happy that it was only 13 plays because I really like to be an artist. I really like to be free. And I really like to be the one who decides what to sing and what not to sing. But it was a really nice experience. The musicians of Tango Siempre, beautiful people, very good musicians. All of them are my friends. So it was really nice. And of course, because of Midnight Tango, is that I happened to perform 120 times more as a solo artist.
Great. Well, I think we're coming towards the end of our time now. There's lots more questions I could ask, lots more songs you could sing. But
we can make it again next week, no problem. I'm not going out. We are not allowed to.
No, I saw your government announcement on the television last night, and I didn't understand all of it. But basically, it's not good, is it?
Well, we are in the middle of the winter, and the peak should be happening right now. So I think it's a good decision to keep the lockdown for some weeks more until the winter is a little bit east and the peak is gone. But I think the government is doing really well. I'm absolutely on its favor. I think we have a brilliant human being as a president this time. We used to have a stupid guy who was not even able to read a paper. It was a shame the previous president Argentina had. But now we have a very clever man. I don't know if he's going to succeed because Argentina is a super complicated country with a lot of enemies inside. I mean, I live it as a tango artist. Every time I have somebody boycotting or sabotaging my concerts in Europe is an Argentinian behind. So I'm very sad to say this, but it's a fact. And that's why I'm much more popular anywhere in the world than in my own country. So Argentina is a very complicated country with very many beautiful people, but with a lot of friendly fire. And I think the government is doing the best they can in a very difficult situation with a lot of enemies, with a lot of people using the situation to bring it down. But we have a very clever president at this moment. And everybody is top at his position. So we couldn't do any better. I mean, now we depend on good luck, and the situation is a tragedy for the entire world. But I think if they really open it up completely, it's going to be a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm having a very bad time being locked down at home, but I don't want millions to die.
No. And you're not sure yet whether your next tour will happen in October?
Well, I was going to tour with Eero Koivistonen and Alexito Marilla in England. Lisa Cherry Dance, El Tango Promotions. They were organizing a tour, but it was cancelled because of this COVID-19 situation. So I think it's not going to happen before September, my next tour. And I would be very happy if it happened in September. I would say that October and November is really tough to say, but I don't see it. I don't see it's going to happen before that.
No.
And I hope it's going to happen because I have beautiful concerts to play in Turku in November with Petri and Essi and beautiful contemporary dancers. But I really hope. It was a sold out experience last year, and now we are going to have 5 concerts. I really want that those concerts will happen, and many more. But the Russian shows and the British shows were cancelled.
Well, I'm hoping to be in Buenos Aires in October, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, there's going to be a change in September. There's going to be a change in September.
It's very close contact with tango, and the flight with lots of people from you don't know where, a long flight.
We will have to wait a bit, yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend who runs tango classes and milongas in Buenos Aires, and he said there's nothing happening now.
No, nothing is happening now. We are not allowed to go farther away from the supermarket.
Well, let's hope you enjoy the rest of your confinement, isolation.
I'm doing great. It's a chance for me to be closer to my family, to study, to be home. I mean, in the last 16 years, I haven't had a home. And I'm realizing that it's too hard. It's too hard. I mean, I've been sleeping in 5-star hotels on mattresses on the floor along the years, still in the last tour. It's very sacrificed. It's beautiful. I love my life. If I was a millionaire, I would buy the same life I'm living. But I have to say that it's really too hard, too tough. And now I'm realizing how hard it has been for me not to have a home, to have had a home, or to have been enough time at home. I mean, I broke up with all my girlfriends in the last years. I mean, it's really difficult. I mean, who would like to be with somebody who is traveling all the time? And but anyway, it's a beautiful life. I'm very grateful to it, and I'm enjoying the time here. I'm close to my father who needs me now, to my mother, to my son, more time than ever. So I always see a positive side. I'm giving lovely interviews with you. I'm giving interviews almost every day. I'm getting some recognition that I was waiting for. I work very hard for it.
Good.
So not everything is so negative. I tend to be a positive thinker.
Good. Well, thank you for that, Martin.
Thank you.
It was lovely to speak to you.